first and foremost, thank you for being here. This is an extremely special night on very short notice. I mean, we all wish we were in Tampa right now, but it's okay. We are here to celebrate an incredible season for the WSU volleyball team. So, thank you. First and foremost, if you need to use the restroom, it is out the door across the little walkway into the clubhouse. So, important things first. We know what's going on.
Is that just for the women?
Yeah, men, you're right out the back door. Thanks, Daryl. Like that. First of all, we want to recognize our freshman, Lucy. It's her birthday, so happy birthday, Lucy. And Shannon and I have the great opportunity to do the thank yous. And there's so many people to thank that if you're in this room and we didn't thank you, well, fire us, I don't know. So, Deputy Athletic Director Ann McCoy, the absolute best in the country. She is amazing to work for and here tonight. Thank you so much, Ann. We'd also, of course, like to thank President Kirk Schultz, Provost Elizabeth Chilton, and Pat Shunn for their support. And then the staff that work directly with our team, Grant Shainline, Director of Ops, Missy, our athletic trainer. This is probably the first season where we have not had an injury that has kept someone out of a match. So Missy is the MVP for sure. Trace, our strength and conditioning coach. You know, that also contributes directly to that. And he's pretty funny, too. The mustache, you know, that's something that we can all talk about, but, you know, whatever. Bob Bashaw, our physical therapist, amazing. You know, we had 2 ACLs last year that took our middles out, and he worked tirelessly to get them back. Lots of tears, lots of time. Yeah, Shay's like crying right now as I say that, but he's amazing and a great person. Diane Bledsoe and Heather Irwin, Wanda Tennant in academics, amazing, amazing women. Bill Stevens and Chris Page in sports information. There was a lot of sports information to go out this year, so many records being broken. Lindsay Brown in nutrition, and our managers, Alexis and Gracie.
Our practice players who came and practiced with us on a daily basis, or when their schedule allowed, Braden Conkle. Where are you, Braden? Braden. Jack McDonald is not here. Seth O'Brien. Please stand, you guys. Be recognized. Stand up. We'd next like to thank our game day operations people, our facilities staff who helped put together a great first round of NCAA hosting. They worked really hard to organize people and the facilities. Coulter Quick and Keaton Green. Our fantastic cheer squad and Sarah Miller and the Cougar volleyball marching band. Not marching. Band. Marching would be fun though. Mike Ruiz, our announcer.
He's here.
He's here. Where are you, Mike? There you are. You got very creative this year. I like the juice is loose and just a bit outside were a couple of my favorites. Steve Grubbs, a voice on the radio and for the Cleansing radio show. Katie Barton in video. Katie did a great job. Jared Trenruber, who's the man behind the curtain tonight, and he does, I don't know where.
He's literally behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain. Jen Greeny radio show. Lindsay Grotz in tickets. Megan Vila in marketing. Greg and Ashley Davis for photography. And Matt Black for field.
Yeah, I would have to say, as she is taking a picture of us, or me, that Ashley and Greg have just embraced Cougar Volleyball, and super fun to have all those amazing, amazing pictures that you just don't get anywhere else. So thank you guys so much for all those amazing pictures. Continue behind the scenes because this is what we do. Katie in compliance, she's awesome. You never feel like you're in trouble. She, like the compliance person comes around. We don't do anything wrong, obviously, but Katie in compliance with tickets and just really is great to work with. Kelly Kamamura transitioned from a golf coach to HR. She got to travel with us last year to San Diego, got to see the administrative side of it. She is absolutely wonderful to work with, so thank you, Kelly. Shannon Wood in the business office, Lisa Waite in creative, Trevor Williams, who did the broadcast for our first and second rounds, and also did some great work with the first ever Jen Greeny Coaches Show, so thank you, Trevor. Nick Garner in student athlete development. Nick is fabulous. Where's Nick? In the very back. Nancy Swanner, our faculty athletic rep. She is absolutely amazing. We couldn't ask for anything better as a faculty athletic rep to represent Washington State in that arena. So thank you, Nancy. And although we don't like to see him, Dr. Tingstad, I don't like to see him, and I see him more than I want, but Dr. Tingstad is absolutely amazing. We can text him, call him anytime we need him. You can't always find that, and so thank you, Ed.
Next, we'd like to say thank you to our season ticket holders. If you are one of them, please raise your hand and be recognized. Thank you so much for your continued support.
We did sell out this year.
We did sell out this year, so that's quite amazing.
And renewals just went out.
And renewals just went up. I'm getting information right now as we speak. We'd also love to say thank you to the parents of the players for their continuing support of their daughters. And our own families. Papa Jeej, where are you? Papa and Jeej of the room, everyone? Jeej has her parade wave down. Good job, Jeej. We'd also like to acknowledge with a huge thank you to Jeff and Erica Barham for their generous donation to our new Terraflex floor. Created a wonderful atmosphere this year, and for our European tour, which also helped in the team bonding and our success of our program. So thank you, Jeff and Erica.
Along with that, if you have ever contributed to Washington State Volleyball, I'm going to make you stand up right now, which is also me. So, yes, thank you. Thank you. It takes a village. It takes a village. Absolutely, for sure. We are going to invite Burdette Greeny up. I know you're all hungry. The bar is open, and we're just gonna, not the players, but fans. Burdette is gonna come with some fun facts.
Okay, there's quite a few. We have some years where it's a little lean in some things that achievements, but this year is not one of them. So the point of this is for those of you that like something, like hearing these achievements, then great, this is for you. It's also for our players so they can hear it one last time for this year. So we're actually going to start with some stats of career record books kind of things, and I'm going to keep one player in particular out of it as much as possible till the end because it kind of becomes her show on that. But starting with WSU career kills, Sarah Silvernail, and this is per set, leads it with 4.46. Pia Timmer ended her career at 3.33 kills per set, 5th all time. And you can go ahead and clap through this little series, but when we get to the one player, just kind of hold it for a while, okay? I'll let you know. WSU career matches played. Magda's first with 147, Julia with 145 is second, and Pia Timmer third all time with 141 matches played. WSU career kills. Magda came in at 10th with 1,253. Off the list, I think knocked Jen off the list, but in third, I shouldn't laugh. In third, all-time career kills behind Sarah Silvernail and Kyra Holt, Pia Timmer with 1,704 kills. Got the cowboy boots on, don't you? I like it. WSU career assists, actually. Arhe still has more to play. Moved to 10th all time with 2,515 career assists. Career points, and so this is kept since 2001. This would be kills, aces, blocks. So you can get educated more on volleyball. And third all time is Magda with 1,784 points as a middle. That's insane. And then Pia, second all time, only to Kyra Holt, who's playing in Portugal right now and maybe has found love. That's rare for Kyra, so it's good. 1,959 points, Pia Timmer. WSU career aces. So was anybody around to watch Beth Welch? There we go. We got the Casavants and Marcia, the court. Beth Welch in 1987-89, 4th all time with 133. 5th all time, excuse me. Julia came in at 4th, 138 career aces. Julie Norval. And then, God dang it. That might happen a couple times tonight, out of nowhere. The last match of the year, one of her last serves of her career, Pia Timmer became the all-time career aces leader, 152. Okay, now hold the applause. We're gonna start with, let's go single season attack percentage. So this is a single season mark. Magda holds the 4th place from 2022 with 389 for the season. Sarah Silvernail is in 3rd. Magda holds the 2nd place in 2020 with a 421, but she beat that this year, hitting a 424 for 1st all time. You can hold it. Some of you, good job. Career attack percentage, Magda in 1st, and gosh, Sarah had it, this is Sarah Silvernail, had it at 301. Magda ended her career at 385. Yeah. Pac-12, this is Pac-12 attack percentage. Magda ended up 7th all-time in Pac-12 history at 385. Then let's go to some WSU marks. WSU career block assists. Magda 1st, 624. 2nd is Claire Martin, who we coached at 527. WSU career total blocks. Magda at 769. Carrie Couturier at 615. Claire Martin at 3rd with 577. Let's go to career blocks per set at WSU. Magda in at 2nd. She didn't get 1st in that. At 1.43. Joanne Johnson from 91 to 93 had a 1.47. Career solo blocks. Magda didn't get first in this one. 145 she had for second place. Carrie Couturier had 195. Let's go, how about this? Pac-12 career total blocks. This is quite an achievement. Here we go again. Pac-12's done. So this is quite an achievement. Magda, first all-time, 769 blocks, supplanting Marissa Hatchett from UCLA, 1989 to 92. She had 756. And then in this one, in the rally scoring era. So you got some 30-point rally scoring and then the 25-point. And side out, the matches could go forever, right, before that. And so there was a lot of, it's kind of a different record book almost. But Magda supplanted Dana Retke, who played for Wisconsin. And actually in third was Ali Bastianelli, who you got traded for today. And Magda first all-time in NCAA career total blocks in the rally scoring era since 2001. Go ahead and give a round of applause for Magda. Okay, I would have liked to have been more prepared, but we're in the transfer portal era, and we do not get a break right now. So, like Corey, wave your hand back there. Corey's been instrumental. We're going through, I think, as of yesterday, there were 630 players in the transfer portal, and we were going through everyone to try to find kids that want to come here and play. So, what I'm thankful, so it's kind of moving around. It's not as organized as I want, the information. But I always like this, and I don't know if many people know, that this team was comprised of pretty much the United Nations. We had more countries represented on the roster than we did states, 8-5 on that. Let's see. We had this is talking about the top 25 poll this year. Now that it's done, we can talk about it, and it's important. It's also important for recruiting, but we try not to talk about it too much when we were in the season. We spent 9 weeks inside the top 10 this year. I didn't know this. Washington State set a program record with 8 consecutive weeks inside the top 25 earlier this season, and a total of 39 weeks ranked inside the top, inside the nation's top 10. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Now, I learned. Washington State has appeared in 191 AVCA top 25 polls. That's number 20 all time for Power 5 schools. And we're not a Power 5 school, right. And finished 13 seasons in the final top 25 poll. That's also ranked number 20 all time among Power 5 schools. So there's a lot of history there. Obviously, I'm not talking about just this team, and those of you who remember this. I know I'm talking with Jen and Shannon about Cindy and the great program they had there, but there's been a lot of good teams here. Washington State, we reached as high as number 4 in the AVCA top 25. That was the program's highest ranking since being ranked number 5 back in October of 1995. Yeah. This team, after a lot of players came back from 2022, when it was the offense was clicking at a 280 mark, and that was good for second all time at the time. There must be something going on back there, because that was not funny. Never speak after a dog. And this year's team hit 289, program record, absolutely shattered that mark. The 506 attack percentage versus Tulsa. Corey, was that a Jeopardy question in Thanksgiving? It was. Okay. It was the highest of any Pac-12 team over an opponent this year. Just in case you want to Also, there was a tie for aces, the most aces in a match. On the September 1st match versus Northwestern State, had 14 aces there. This goes over to Jen because it's on this sheet. I'm not going to bounce around on different, but Jen now joins Cindy Frederick. Cindy had 3 consecutive win seasons of 20 plus more wins. Cindy had it in 91, 92, and 93. Cindy had it in 95, 96, and 97. Jen now in 2021, 22, and 23. I believe this is worth it, and this is quite a list. And Jen is now 11th all-time for wins for Pac-12 coaches. Andy Banikowski was first, UCLA, 619. Dave Rubio with Arizona. Then John Dunning with Stanford. Mick Haley, USC. I'm just listening to these names. Don Shaw at Stanford. Jim McLaughlin, UW. Boo. Rich Feller, Cal. Cindy Frederick comes in at 8th for WSU. Mike Seeley, UCLA. Jim Moore, who was at Oregon, the crazy scientist. And Jen comes in at 11th with 235 wins for a Pac-12 school. This was the 18th tournament appearance for WSU. Jen's been part of 14 of them. That's quite a lot. I'm not going to get into that, but the 8 consecutive tournament appearances now shattered. Believe it was 5 before for WSU volleyball. No team in Washington State athletic history in the athletic department can claim as long of a run as that. So good job. Okay, getting close. Let's go to this. Attendance-wise, dating back to 1992, the attendance record has 19 matches listed on here. The lowest being 2005-11 and a 3-2 loss to UW in 92, and the best being number 4 Stanford in 95, where there was 4,039 people attending. This is inside Bowler. This year alone, I don't know how that happened. How did that happen? No fire marshal, I guess, right? Okay. This year alone, so there was 19 matches. This year alone, we had 4 of them in the top 15. There was 15th was actually Utah, 2,704 people showed up. Stanford, 2,734. Grand Canyon, first round, 2,976. And then UW, 3,002. We personally think that there was more people at certain times, BYU and maybe Oregon, that didn't come on here, but whatever. It was well attended, and to the point where the 1,769 person average for home attendance was second all time, only to 1995's 1,814. Good job. Thank you. Also, just in case you want to know, 2023 had 18 home matches. Those were the most ever in Bowler Gym for home matches. Someone say scheduling. Yeah, it's nice. We actually had 2 home tournaments. It was helpful. It was good. And also, I was not paying attention. Is Ann here? Thanks for letting us spend some money on game contracts. So I don't know if I should say that or not, but thank you. Yeah. Let's see here. There was Magda in Pac-12 Player of the Week awards. Her 11, it was the 11th one. It was a defensive one. I think it was at the beginning of October. It's the most ever in the history of the conference. Her 11 Pac-12 Player of the Week awards. Getting close. Since 2018, WSU is tied for 16th most national seeds. So if you want to get educated on that a little bit, we had a number 4 seed within our side of the bracket. There's 4 brackets. Therefore, we were a top 16 seed. I believe we were actually 13th on that, if it came to it. Then go to A little nugget that I don't think a lot of people know. We happened to beat Texas, who's in the Final Four. And I researched this. Don't ask me why, but I got all this. Sorry about that. I got all this on the side here, all this information, and I was just curious. Back to 2007, Texas had gone 229-12 in the regular season at Gregory Gymnasium. And you're talking about national champions, Final Fours, regular, that kind of stuff. WSU was one of them. So. Of those 12 matches they lost, there were only 2 teams. It was Oklahoma twice that did not make the Sweet 16, at least the Sweet 16 that year that they beat them at Gregory Gymnasium. 20-plus wins this year. It was the 5th straight year for a full season and 6 of the last 7. We're the only Pac-12 school to finish in the top 5 of the Pac-12 standings in each of the last 6 seasons. Ken, I like that you said something there. Like, I'm especially proud of that. That this being the last year and we're supposedly not a Power 5 school and we're left out in the cold. That who's the only school that finished in the top 5 for the last 6 seasons? It was Washington State. Going off of that, in case we needed more, the 8th straight NCAA tournament appearances by WSU is the longest active streak by the Pac-12, and what is the final season of Pac-12 volleyball? And then you can tell this to your friends if you're a volleyball supporter, or if we need to try to keep getting into a conference or whatever. We're one of only 13 teams overall, 12 that were in the Power 5. That have made 8 straight NCAA tournament appearances, advancing to at least the second round 7 times, including at least 2 Sweet 16s. Here's the list of teams: Nebraska, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Penn State, Texas, Baylor, BYU, Florida, Kentucky, Purdue, Pitt, Creighton, and Washington State. Since 2019, so that's the group that was freshmen. Gosh, there must be good pictures up there sometimes. So I'm glad there's some other entertainment besides me. That since 2019, when you had the group with Julia, Veronica, Magda, Pia come in, this group has gone 66-28 within the Pac-12. That's a 702 winning percentage. And of particular note, versus Oregon State, Oregon, and Washington, I always go back to Tyrone Willingham's mythical Northwest Championship. Ken, you're nodding your head. You know what I'm talking about. We won the mythical Northwest Championship. We went 22-5 against those 3 schools in the Northwest since 2019. I don't know. What do we got left here? We're almost there. Hey, Jen. Do you want to say the individual awards for later? Okay, I do have one thing. Okay, this is it. Today, there was the Pro Volleyball Federation draft, the inaugural draft, where there was, 5 rounds, 35 picks, and there were 2 players for WSU, and I'll tell you who. There were 2 players that were chosen in the draft. I did some research. Actually, we were the leader as far as anyone in the nation, as far as players that came to us out of high school. We had 4 of them. So you're like, well, how's that work? Well, 2 kids transferred, so there you go. But we're also tied for second as far as most players from a program that were drafted by the Pro Volleyball Federation. So. And in it I've always dreamt of doing this actually. I always wanted to announce the draft.
Do you want a drum roll?
No, I need the dee kind of thing. The
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Okay.
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
With the 32nd pick, the Grand Rapids Rise select Carly Basham. From Washington State.
Need the hat.
Okay, and then in the second pick overall in the 2023 Pro Volleyball Federation Draft, Magda Yahalasheva. to the San Diego Mojo.
What? Wait.
Oh, wait, we have a trade. Traded now to the Atlanta Vibe. All right. Thanks for indulging me on that, and I'm going to be quiet for a while.
But we have a very special addition to this banquet tonight, and that is our kind of graduation ceremony for our graduates. We're going to sash them. I want to introduce our very, very special Assistant Athletic Director, Heather Irwin, who does an amazing job of academics, getting our transfers in, making sure our athletes have the right resources in academics. But we're going to have a little special graduation ceremony because they were gone last weekend playing and they didn't get to participate, so we're going to fill it in right here. So give Heather a great round of applause.
Hello. As Jen said, my name is Heather Irwin. I oversee our academic services, and on Friday we had a graduation ceremony for our fall graduates, and we just wanted to make sure that the seniors were honored tonight. And so we do what is called the Cougar Pride Walk, and typically they come up, they get sashed across the stage, and we have an event for that. So we wanted to bring that here tonight. I have up here the academic advisor for the volleyball team, Diane Bledsoe, and our faculty athletic representative, Nancy Swanner. So they're going to do the sashings. So first up, we have Carly Basham. Carly is continuing work on her master's in strategic communication. Next, we have Peyton Claus, who is graduating with her degree in social science. Congratulations, Peyton. And Iman Asanovich. Iman is going to finish her political science master's in the spring. And Magda. Magda will be finishing her master's in the online master's in business program this spring as well. Julia. Another master's program. Julia is working on her master's in strategic the OMBA as well. Lana. Lana is continuing to work on her master's in strategic communications. And Pia. Pia is graduating this semester with her degree in social science. And finally, Veronica. Veronica will be finishing her master's in the spring in apparel merchandising. We had an amazing group of seniors this year, obviously, as you can see, but most importantly, this staff really prioritizes academics, and we really appreciate them for that, setting all kinds of records in the classroom each semester, and we just are really proud of all their accomplishments.
Thank you. Let's give one more round of applause for all those seniors. It was a minute ago that I got my little sash. You know, how many years? A few, for sure. We are now gonna, and obviously keep eating, keep enjoying. We are now going to move to the awards section, which might take a minute or two. So many great awards for this team, and we always say that individual awards reflect the team. You know, like weekly awards, you can't get those awards without the team. You know, I was a middle blocker. Obviously, you have to have a pass, you have to have a set, and you have to be able to put the ball away. So all of these awards are really team-based, but some great awards this year for sure. So we are going all Pac-12 honorable mention this year, Katie Ryan. Congrats. From Under the Rock in Rathdrum, Idaho. All Pac-12 honorable mention, Argentina 1. Should you stay up here? Just stay up here. Reverse, also ABCA All Region honorable mention. All Pac-12 honorable mention, Iman Asanovic. All Pac-12 first team and ABCA All Region first team, Pia Timmer. And that's it. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, no. All Pac-12 first team and ABCA All Region first team, Magda Yahalo. Come on. Burdette, you want to come up here? Join the crew. Yes, always. The answer is always yes. R5.
Okay, this is the foundation. Actually, where's Nancy at? Where's Nancy? Nancy Swanner. Raise your hand, okay? Faculty athletic rep. She's a really unique position. It's a conduit to the president, to the athletic department. We've known her for a long time. She's been in Pullman for how many years?
46. On the Palouse, 46.
46 years.
On the Palouse.
Holy smokes. I'm 48, okay? I should have said that. It's out of respect. You just told me you love me, and I said I love you back, so. Okay. And she just said something about culture. And this next award is all about culture. When we first took over in 2011, the group was, I think, 0-18 in the pack and like 6-24 overall. There were 6 returners. There was 5 that had to take summer school. They had a 1.96 GPA amongst them. Academics was actually the better part of what was going on. Laugh, but really, like it wasn't good. There were some bad cultural things that were going on. So we come in, and we took our 5 from Dick Bennett. Tony Bennett said Virginia won the national championship in basketball. Dick Bennett was at Wisconsin, took Wisconsin basketball to the Final Four. When he first came here, for some reason he let me be in with the team, so it was just the players, the basketball players, and the coaches, and I was the only other one in the room when he was talking about this is what we stand for. And when I heard them, I went, this is me. Passion, humility, unity, servanthood, and thankfulness. Damn. We have kept this since we coached. First, I asked Dick if we could use this when we coached in 2007 at Lewis Clark State, little Lewis Clark State, NAIA school down the road. Ruiz, you're raising your hands. Ruiz has been announcing our games for how long?
Since you've been there.
Since
17 years.
Is it really 17 years?
We're that old.
Nancy, we're old. So it's been 17 years. Like Ruiz done. We were at LC State, and we haven't changed our 5 values for a reason. Not because of that we were lazy. It's because we believed in them. And I think other coaches could come up with, whatever group it is, could come up with other pillars, values, that kind of thing that keep a group together. We've always recruited to these. When we've gotten lost, we've gotten back to them. We went back to them actually in October. Damn. When we were struggling a little bit, we went back to them, and they've always guided us correctly. In the darkness, they show us the way. And so these are not to be taken lightly. So every year, our players, the players' teammates, they vote on these. We call this the R5 award, Our 5. It's our 5 values of passion, humility, unity, servanthood, thankfulness. And this year's 2023 winner, and it's maybe our most important one, is actually Logan Golden. We don't have like most outstanding player or outstanding attacker. Stay up here a little bit. Outstanding attacker. This is impromptu. Attacker or MVP. We don't have those. This is the only award that we give our players, and the only one that we have ever given our players, and it's for a reason, because we don't want it on skill. We don't want the focus on skill or who's the best player. That has nothing to do with it. It is who's the best at exemplifying our values. Who's the best person? If you want to get to it, who's the best person? We have a team full of players that are really, really good people. And the kids on the team know that what we've had, sorry, I don't know what's going on. Well, I know what's going on with my nose, but whatever. that we've, this year's team, you could come up with a bunch of different candidates, and actually really good candidates for all of them. But Logan exemplified it the best, and we're very proud of her.
I want to invite Corey Schrader up. Corey was an addition to our staff last January. A year before that, in July, we were able to hire an amazing athletic trainer, Missy, and she just happened to have another half that was an incredible volleyball coach at Wisconsin Green Bay, and finished his season there and moved to the Palouse and was like, so if you have a job open, it was great. And Corey came around, was with us in the spring, and is an incredible, incredible addition to our staff. So please give Corey a hand. Come on up. We didn't really want to inundate him with all this stuff, but we are now going to make him, he gets to talk about a couple of seniors, and then they get to come up and share a couple words. So, Corey, we invite you to the stage.
Glad that wasn't another promptu speech. I thought you were going to ask me to talk about the year.
Nice pants.
Thanks. Appreciate that. First senior I want to talk about is Lana. Hi. Yes. Lana came in June, summer, with pretty much a semester to be here, which is a tough position to be in. But she did an incredible job jumping right in and getting to know the team and the staff. And it is a really tough spot to be at when you've been with a program. You were at Davis for 3 years, 4 years? 4 years, and got to know them really well to be coming into a new group of people. But she did an incredible job with camps where you could have just kind of been there and showed up, but you led in groups, and that kind of carried over into the season this fall, where you took maybe not a big leadership position, but when your voice needed to be heard, you used it. Especially, I think about like in October, when we were struggling, I think your grit and tenacity was a huge part of us getting out of that. So, awesome job this year. Lana, she come up now? And now you come up.
I did not prepare anything. I'd rather speak from the heart. This has been like the most incredible experience I've ever had. When I decided I wanted to play volleyball when I was younger, I did not think that I would be able to make it to such an amazing program and achieve what this team has achieved in just this one season. And then I did go play collegiate volleyball at a smaller school, and it was great. But I only ever dreamed of even making it to the tournament, and for our team to start the season the way that we did with the wins that we got, especially on the road against Texas, man, that was really good. I'm never gonna forget that. I actually went and played Texas the year before with my Davis team, and it was brutal, so to speak, which is fine. It was still so much fun, and then for us to return the following year and win the way that we did was amazing. I'll never forget that. And then just our season in general, like we had a lot of highs in the beginning, and then we went through a little low, but I really think that that was all part of like God's plan. I think it's really amazing that this team maybe didn't make it past the second round, and we got there this year. Thank you, yay. In the last 5 years. Yeah, and then Burdette, Shan, Jen, Corey, everyone, thank you so much for bringing me here. This is like, seriously, I will never forget this experience. I'm really, really grateful. And then the girls, you guys are like family. It's weird, I don't know. I got here in June, like I had to rush to get here, and it's scary. I'd never moved out of California, let alone been away from my family. I don't know how the Euros do it. I have so much respect for you. But immediately, like as soon as I got here, you guys took me in, and I saw what kind of family you guys had. And then even when practices started, the coaches, the environment that we're in it just feels like, I don't know, it was like a second home really fast, and I really appreciate all of you guys for that. And even like the season ticket holders, like donors, all of you guys are amazing. Like again, back at my smaller school, we didn't even have like season tickets. Like that wasn't even a thing. We didn't have a home court advantage. Our gym was big. We didn't even own the gym. Like our school didn't own the gym. We had like 20 fans. Okay, I really sound like I'm loved it. It was great. But this is really the cherry on top of my collegiate career. And thanks a lot. Oh, and Diane, I love you too. You're the best. If you know, you know.
All right, next, also back at the Cool Kids table is Peyton. Peyton was also a 1 year, but got here in the spring with us. I wasn't part of the recruiting at the time, but I think it sounded kind of something like, hey, do you want to come play? Sure, why not? But we're very grateful that Peyton made that decision. When I think of R5, thankfulness, I mean, you exhibit all of them, but thankfulness. You said how many times this year, how grateful you were to be a part of this team and be around this group of people. You were in maybe a tough position where you weren't sure how much you'd see the court, but you worked your butt off every day in practice. And even towards the end of the year, we're still trying to improve on things. And I think probably being a coach's daughter helps you with that. We should certainly appreciate how coachable you were and how open to feedback you were. I know me and you, maybe we didn't work a ton, but little pieces here and there, and you were always open to that. So come on up.
I'm going to add to that a recruitment piece is that Peyton was coaching our younger daughter, Leah, last year at this time. And I was like, we need a backup setter. I think Peyton was a backup setter. As I'm sitting there watching our 7th grade daughter, and I was like, I think she needs to come to Washington State. And so it all worked out, so glad you're here.
Thank you. Woo, all right. I'm not gonna try to get too emotional, but for those of you who don't know me, my name is Peyton Claus, and I might not have been on the court because I was Argentina's backup setter, and it seems like she didn't need a lot of backup this year. And I mean that with obviously, whoo, I'm yelling now, with the most love in my heart because, oh my God, here I go. Argentina is like the most incredible human being, and usually when you're on a team and you're kind of, I don't know, battling someone for a position, you think there's like so much bad blood, but I look to Argentina and she'd be setting the ball and I'd be like, damn, I wish I could do something like that. So it's just incredible that we got to be so close and do all the setter things together. Kind of going back to Jen's story, it's kind of an interesting time in my life because I was at the school kind of across the pond, and I won't say anything bad about that, but I was kind of unsure of where I was headed for my volleyball career. I kind of stepped away from it, and I was coaching my little sister's team, trying to decide what I was going to do next, and Jen Greeny came up to me, and I was like, I wonder what she's going to say to me. Like, have Leah hit the ball different? And she kind of came up to me and was like, would you like to potentially be a backup setter at WSU? Ironically, I don't think that's how anyone else in this room got recruited. So me and my mom, the drive from Spokane to Moscow, were like, was that a joke or was that real life? So then the next day I called her up and I was like, well, if you're being serious and giving me this opportunity, I think I'd be stupid to turn it down. And so I just kind of went into it and I started the spring. And coming from a smaller town and a smaller school, you start practice and you're like, I probably shouldn't curse, holy crap, everyone on this team is really freaking good. But it didn't really matter how good my volleyball skills were because every single person on this team, really was open to me coming on this team and really loved me and accepted me for who I was. And it kind of didn't matter what happened in the volleyball practice game or whatever because I knew no matter what, these are now all my best friends for life. And I can't stop saying this and I won't stop saying this. I am forever grateful for this experience, for the coaches, for the support staff, for you guys, and go Cougs, and I'm so grateful to be a Coug.
these are hard. Crying's hard, and then speaking while you're trying to not cry is even harder. I'm going to talk about Iman real quick. When she came to us, we were very excited. She's very talented, great outside hitter, as well as a great person, academic All-American. We knew she was going to kill it in the classroom. What I didn't realize was that her smile is infectious. She's super kind, willing to do whatever it takes to get better. Whenever we need her, whenever we needed her to show up to film, extra reps. She had a crazy class schedule. She'd text me and go, "Can you get in the gym with me today?" Yep, let's just go. No matter what, she wanted to work extra. I had the privilege of working on a skill that she had not worked on at Arizona State, or she did, but she wasn't very good at it. I mean, let's be real. And I actually, Burdette came to me one day and said, "These are her numbers. You have to tell her that she was not very good at this and she needs to get better." And I was like, "All right, got it. Well, we'll try to work that in the conversation." So Iman and I were working on passing, and I was like, "Hey, just so you know, we got to do this a lot this season." And she's like, "Yep, let's do it this spring. You know, I want to do this. I want to be a better passer, better player." And I was like, "Okay, this is the degree to which we need to get better." And she's like, "Oh, okay, well, let's get after it." And she just had an amazing attitude, day in and day out, was very open to coaching, adjustments. She made a ton of adjustments. And a lot of times when you get someone in from a program, and they've been at that other program for 4 years, they can be resistant to coaching a little bit and resistant to that feedback. And she took everything I gave her. I threw a lot at her. We all threw a lot at her. And she just took it in stride and just she got frustrated. That's not without frustration. But she always had a smile on her face and just kept going at it. And we loved watching her get to know her teammates, and she loved getting to know us coaches as people. I loved listening to her speak Bosnian very loudly on the bus early in the morning to her people. I was like, it's like 5 in the morning on the bus to the airport, and there's Iman speaking loudly in Bosnian to whoever was, yeah, I know, 9-hour difference. So she took advantage, and we're all on the bus trying to sleep, and there's Iman. But really, really enjoyed getting to know her as a person, and was very, very excited to see where she goes from here. Iman Asanovic.
Thank you for that wonderful expose. Is it this one?
You can take it off, yeah.
All right. Hello, guys. Let me pull up my notes real quick. So, I think I'm probably the only person today in this room that had class today. So, yeah, talk about crazy class schedule. My classes go 3 hours long, and my professors are absolutely nuts, but you have to adjust, thrive through adversity. I don't know. Well, there's a lot of people in this room, but a few days ago, I had a Snapchat memory, actually, of the picture of me sobbing at the airport a year ago. And it should not be happening this early, sorry. It's Shannon's fault. I'm blaming it on Shannon. But anyways, a year ago, literally half an hour before I was supposed to fly home, for winter break, which is usually, well, for an international student, the best time, because you get to see your family, right? I get a call from my coach. She's crying on the phone and saying, "I got fired." And I was like, God damn. I was like, way to hit me with that news. While I was going through security check, right? And I was like, well, fun. And she was actually the only reason why I was at that program for that long, and just seeing her go was absolutely devastating for me. And seeing that picture of me crying at the airport literally a year ago, this time actually brought a smile on my face, because even though it was one of the hardest times of my life at that point, it gave me something very unexpected, and it truly speaks to the fact how life truly works in very mysterious ways. Because now, while that was the most turbulent time ever, it gave me the opportunity to come to Washington State. And it's funny because, so, it wasn't a bird who recruited me, it was Magda. Well, let's give Magda a round of applause. Hey, me and Bird had a great conversation, but it was Magda who did the initial step. But it's fine, Bird. We're great. And before I was even in the transfer portal, me and Magda would talk before games, and I was like, why would you ever come to Pullman? You know, there are so many other places that you can be in the United States, especially coming from Europe, and you come to Pullman. I was like, it's so small. It's like, I don't get it. And now I laugh to my own statements, because I don't know how I'm gonna leave Pullman, because this community, this group of people that I met here, both on and off the court, absolutely is an absolute blessing, and I will forever will be grateful for every single person that I met. These girls, like Lana said, and like Peyton said, we didn't have the opportunity to experience the full WSU experience for the 4 years, but man, can I say that this 1 year that I had at WSU really gave me more that I could ever hope for, and that I actually got at Arizona State, because the community that Pullman gives to us is just beyond, and I am so grateful for every single one, for my teammates that truly become my sisters and my best friends. And it's crazy because it's such a short time span, but it really is a lot that we have gone through together, and the bonds that are created are truly forever. And I'm truly grateful for you guys, and also the coaches who are here and we're here every single day for us, to not only be there for us as players, but also be here for us as people. Yeah, Bird, hi. You too. And also that goes back to Trace, Missy, who really have grinded it out with us every single day, trying to keep us healthy. Our amazing academic advisors who have worked effortlessly to keep us just on the best track for our academic life, because it's student before athlete, right? Unfortunately. But I'm just grateful for every person here. Jeff, Erica, Al, Mia. I'm so grateful that you guys are involved in our program as much as you are, because you truly are amazing people. And I'm sorry that Al couldn't be here along with Mia, because they're in Arizona enjoying that beautiful sunshine, as I know. But everyone in this room, I truly thank you for being a great support system that I will never forget. And go Cougs.
All right. I'm going to talk about Julia Norville next. Juice, the juice is loose. There's all kinds of sayings that go with Julia. But I want to go back to when I was watching Julia play club volleyball. And I think Jen was with me at the time. It was either Jen or Burdette, because we kind of sat courtside. And I was around 11:30 in the morning. I try to wait as long as I can before I say I'm hungry for lunch when I'm recruiting, because Burdette can go like almost all day without eating food. And so when I'm recruiting with him about 11:30, I'm ready for lunch, and I'm looking on Yelp and watching Julia play volleyball, but I'm also looking on Yelp for lunch places in case Burdette gets hungry and I'm ready, so I have something ready to go. And I'm looking and I'm watching and I'm looking down, I'm watching, and I get this tap on my shoulder. And I didn't know this at the time, but Julia's dad, Patrick, comes over my shoulder and goes, "Hey, do you want a good recommendation for lunch? I see you're hungry." Sure. I love to know where to go to lunch. Eventually, when Burdette says we can go to eat, and he's like, "There's this great burger place down the street," and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I'm Julia's dad. I just wanted to say hi. I know it's not legal. We can't talk, but okay, bye. And I was like, I like that guy. And then fast forward to our Grand Canyon match when go, Cougs, go. Yeah. He lost. Yeah. He temporarily lost his mind and ran out there because the cheerleaders couldn't. And so he was going to lead the cheers. And I thought, there is Julia's spirit animal running across the court. And talking through the whole match. And just, but that kind of embodies the spirit. And it's Julia's spirit. And we have appreciated every moment that we've been able to work with Julia. And out of all the voices on the court every day in practice, which is a lot to say, when I say every day, it's every day, you can hear hers the loudest. And we always talk about being a scientist and dissecting your own skills and working to get them better every day. And I can hear her talking to herself through a skill while she's doing it. And then she comes up and goes, "Did you see that? That was awesome." Or "Did you see that? God, why did I do that? I don't know why I did that." And she's always dissecting herself to make herself better. We've had amazing conversations in film, sometimes having nothing to do with volleyball. We've had deep personal conversations, which I will always treasure, and that's kind of sometimes my favorite film sessions are the ones where we probably watch 5 minutes of film, and then we talk about life. And I've really gotten to know Julia well over these past years, and I can't wait to see what she does next, because she's going to keep that spirit inside her, and she's going to go forth and conquer. So, Julia Norville.
Well, I did not know that story about my dad at the beginning. That's kind of embarrassing, but glad that he started it and ended at it. But I just wrote a little bit, but I'll start back to when Shannon was talking about how they were watching at Colorado Crossroads. And I just remember, when we were all young, like playing club, everyone would be like, "Oh, what coach is that? What coach is that?" And I remember, like, we all saw them, and someone on my team was like, "Oh, did you guys see them?" And I was like, yeah, guys, they're not here for us, though. Like, we're not at that. We're playing, like, A1, some, like, great club from Southern California. And I was like, yeah, we'll just leave them alone. And then I remember, like, that next week at club practice, my coach was like, "Oh, like, this guy, Burdette Greeny, wants to talk to you." And I was like, "Oh, where does he, like, coach at or whatever?" And he was like, "He coaches at Washington State." And I was like, "Oh, is that UW across the way? Is that school?" And he was like, "Yeah." And that just kind of like how it all started. And I never thought I'd be standing here 5 years later being able to say that. But I remember the week I came here was like my 18th birthday. And I remember how young I was, not only in my like volleyball career, but like in like real life. And I came from like a small school. I mean, Pullman obviously is like a small community type thing, but it's a lot more people than I was used to. And I had no idea how much that in these past 5 years I would have needed to grow. And yet I was blessed to find like a new family and my teammates, my coaches, everybody like that. And I remember, I think it was harder for me than most people on our team to say that it took them to adjust to college life. 2 years later, Jen's still kicking me out of practice for not going to class. So I just am super grateful for those opportunities, and I think I've grown the most outside of volleyball instead of inside of volleyball. And I think for me, that was going to be the most important, because I know volleyball can only, for me, go so far, and how I grew as an individual and how I'll carry that on the rest of my life. I think to you for it, even Corey, just you getting here telling me to smile every day, even though I don't want to smile. But yeah, I just thank you to you guys the most, I would say, have had the most impact on me. And I never thought, like, from my freshman year till now, I can say that, like Shan, like how you said, we have those talks in film, and me just going into Jen and saying, hey, what's your favorite Reese's candy? Like, things like that. Like, I'll always remember forever. And I just want to say thank you to you guys out here, your guys' faces. My favorite thing is when people come up to me and they're like, oh, like, this and this happened in Pullman today. Like, did you see it? Like, just having conversations and being able to, like, see you guys up in the stands every week in your faces. Like, I'll always remember those until forever. So just thank you for guys, and especially for this year, like, being on this journey with us. You guys have contributed so much, and even in the past 5 years. And I hate to say that tonight is our, like, last goodbye kind of seeing each other, but I'm super excited to see what every single one of you in this room, teammates, coaches included, have in their future. This team was nothing but extraordinary, and I can't wait until the day that we can all be back together again. Thanks.
Thanks. Juice. I don't know, like, that just, Vera came up with juice. So, Ruiz, you were really good on that. I have the pleasure of talking about a very spirited individual. Those of you that were season ticket holders back in the day, Jennifer Stinson was a very spirited animal herself. A little different, but on the court for sure. Celebrated many plays. But I was as big as most of the people, so I couldn't jump into their laps as this person could. So Carly Basham was at Texas A&M. We were looking for a new libero. Alexis Drighi had graduated. She was our all-time digs leader, amazing player. And Burdette was talking to Carly on the phone, and I remember that he was like, this girl can talk. And she's a competitor. And I was like, well, that's what we need. Carly came into our program, one of the most tenacious players on and off the court. I feel like she's my spirit animal, if I'm going to say that. We've had some great times, some learning experiences. We're just going to call it that. She has grown so much as an individual, on and off the court. I know. Just really, really proud. And drafted today into pro volleyball. Give it up for Carly Basham. Love you.
Hey guys, hold on, let me get my notes up too. Oh yeah. Yeah, I just want to go off kind of what Jen said, just about my whole kind of recruiting process coming here. I started my college career at Texas A&M, and most of you guys probably don't know much about that experience, but it was not a good one, to say the least. Between the culture on the team and just my relationship with those coaches in general was just so bad that it got to the point where I was considering quitting volleyball because I had just lost my love for the game completely just due to that whole experience. And then I decided to put my name into the transfer portal, and then here comes Bird, and then me and him, literally our first talk went almost 2 hours long, which you guys can probably believe that, because between me and Bird, we can talk our ears off to each other. But I literally just remember after my very first phone call with Bird, I literally called my mom right after, and I was like, that's the school that I want to go to. That's the type of coaching staff that I want to play for. Because for me, a big part of who I am as a player and how I feel comfortable is just being able to play my style. And I think just kind of like what Jen was saying, just the way that I celebrate and the way that I can express my love and passion for the game to the fans, to my teammates, to the coaching staff, and not feel judged, not feel like it's too much and stuff, was such a big part of my journey of finding my love for the game again. And I think coming here really just established that love for the game that I didn't even know I still had in me, because I was this close of quitting, and then just a little voice inside me a little voice inside of me was just like, just keep pushing it through and just keep pushing through. And that's what I did. And I would have never guessed if you told me from the day that I set foot on Pullman's campus that I would have been standing up here, drafted now, accomplishing all that we did with this team, and being surrounded by the most amazing team that I literally could have asked for. I think it's so rare to find a team of, especially just college volleyball players in general, just to where there's no drama, no jealousy, and just pure gratitude for each and one of each other on and off the court. And I think a big thing for me is who you surround yourself with. I think it's important to realize and just be aware of how you feel after you've been able to be around people and be around either the team or the coaching staff and stuff. And I think just the way I feel after every single day coming in and out of practice, in and out of lift, I always feel 10 times better than I did walking into that building. And I think that speaks for more than anything it could for me, because it literally brought not only my love for the game back, it brought the love to myself back, it brought the love to my people back, it brought the love to my coaching staff back, my team back. And I didn't think I had as much love and gratefulness as I do until I got here. And, these coaches let me kind of do my thing on the court, and that just opened up a whole new chapter in my life that I am forever grateful for. And I think just being able to be surrounded by a coaching staff where, they not only care about you as a player, but as a person. I've never had a coaching staff that's been this dedicated as who I am as a person. And I think genuinely from the bottom of my heart, that means the world to me, because we've all know what we've gone through, and we've been through literally hell and back, to say the least. But I think that in tough times, those really show who really has your back and who is the realest ones for you. And I think, without question, I know for a fact that me and this coaching staff is for life, and we're going to carry this friendship and this relationship, yeah, Bird, forever. Bird's my little squirrel back there. No, but for real, this coaching staff has done more for me than I think that they know, and I think that I could even put into words. So I just wanted to first say thank you to you guys, because the belief and trust you guys had in me on and off the court literally is the hugest part for why I'm here today and what I was able to accomplish. So thank you guys. And I think, sorry. And going off that, Trace and Missy, I want to personally thank you, because I've been playing volleyball a long time, and my hips have hurt every single year up until then, but we've reached age 22 and the hips do not hurt. So Missy, I want to say thank you to you, because that's never happened in my whole entire life before, where I've had a consistent season where I haven't been taped up or all that stuff. It was a miracle this season. And Trace, I don't think I've ever been able to do a pull-up in my life, and then you had me doing 4 this summer. So kudos to you for that, because I've never felt as strong. I've never felt as strong as I have mentally and physically too. I think that that's something really cool that Trace does, is he's not only a strength and conditioning coach, but I think he also is a great mental coach too, and just has kept this team on the right track mentally for so long, and just kind of just helped us stay motivated and helped us stay together throughout the entire preseason, the entire summer. And I think that's very rare in a strength coach, is just like my strength coach at A&M, the team knows how that was, but it was just a whole different story, and not a good one to say the least. But so I'm just very, very thankful for you guys. And G-Man, you already know the vibes with us, but you're my guy forever. That'll never change. I'm very appreciative of all of our little random Q&As in the back during serving of, I can't even get into the conversations we have back there, but it is one for the books. And just for the team, I've never been on a team where I genuinely have loved every single one of you guys and have never felt supported like I do on a team like this. I think each and every one of you all has impacted me in such a positive way throughout my years here, and I literally would not be here without every single one of you guys. My last shout out is for my bros, my position group, Logs, Emma, Juice. I want to specifically shout out you guys, because I think it's rare to be on a team where you're surrounded by supported people, but it's even more rare to be surrounded by a position group that so supports you. And I think that was such a huge thing for me, because I think not only it helped me, but I think it helped all of us just come in and just want to work that much harder for each and every one of us. And I can't express my love and gratitude for you guys, even if it's Logs helping me out with what I'm doing right or wrong in the matches, or, Emma putting a smile on my face every single day that I've ever walked into the court ever, and Juice just being my right hand out on the court always. I don't know where I would be without my bros, and to you guys, I'm so grateful, because I would not have done half of what I did here, let alone gotten through half of the practices and games without you guys. So love you guys, and go Cougs forever.
paging Burdette Greeny. First of all, I want to talk to you about my shoes, because many of you have commented that I'm not wearing boots tonight. I used to wear heels all the time to matches. And then COVID hit, and then we got this amazing, immaculate Terraflex floor that I will not damage with my heels. So I have all these heels in my closet. These are my holiday heels. And so those of you that wore boots in my honor tonight, I'm sorry, but I wore my holiday heels. So go Cougs.
I know you all have been sitting here a long time, and to some of you might be thinking too long. But for us, as far as the coaches and the players, and hopefully some of you that support our program, that you're enjoying this. I could listen to our players talk all night. We don't get many moments like this. I personally, I could tell recruiting stories about each player. Like, I remember where I was, what I was doing, what I was probably wearing, what I was looking at. I remember everything. And I love it, and I'm going to miss it. I wish I could talk about every player. I'm not going to. I do have to go back to Peyton. Where are you, Peyton? She's a kid that didn't play. Came and I have some of the most respect for players that don't get to play and that show up every day and do the right thing of anybody. And my stock in that person goes through the roof. And I know that you have a winner in life. And to me, Peyton is that. Like 100%. When we went through the period where I feel like we could beat anybody, it was BYU, then Baylor, then at Texas. I felt like our team could beat anybody. And then crazy how the mind works. We lost confidence. We were trying to hold on to something. And then we were trying to find ourselves again. And we were a good team. And I remember sitting in the meeting room, the conference room up there next to our offices, and we're up on the whiteboard, and there's all kinds of stuff. You probably can't even, there's so much stuff up there, you don't even know what's going on. But we're watching some video about UCLA softball and trying to release embarrassment. I thought Peyton said one of the most poignant things, and if you're going to ask me what it was, I don't know what it was, but I do know that it resonated so much, and I felt like a player that doesn't play very much and it has enough courage to say something to that team in a moment where I felt like we needed it. Like, we needed it bad. Peyton, I have enormous respect for you. So, I don't know. I could talk about a lot of things, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stay on task, Jen, and I'm going to talk about the players I'm supposed to talk about. Okay? This one, we're going to talk about Vera. Vera's from Poland. So I go on this odyssey. I land in Munich. I drive up past like Hamburg. I drive up to Denmark. I go and watch a player that we passed on that's playing pro now. She played for the Danish national team. I spend a great night with them, drive back, trying to get to Berlin in the morning. The next day, I end up spending too much time, get kind of whatever. I have to pull over because I needed sleep. I was meeting with too many people. There's a snowstorm. I get to Berlin. I'm in Berlin. I don't know if I've ever been in Berlin or if I'll ever be in Berlin again. So I go look at the Reichstag, and I'm walking around all this stuff of German history. And the next day I got to drive to Krakow, Poland. And it's probably about another, how far is it from Berlin to 6 hours maybe? It's a good trip. Ooh, how about that? It's 6 hours. I get to Krakow, and I'm like, and for me, and at that time I hadn't traveled very much. And I'm sitting here going, oh boy, American. I got to Krakow at night. I'm deep in Poland, and I'm like, okay, I don't know anybody. I can't definitely speak the Polish language. Still can't pronounce your last name. That's no lie on that. And I get there, I park the car, I'm walking out, and it's snow's falling. So if you picture it, it's dark, there's lights on from the city, the snow is falling, it's quiet. But all you can really hear is the snow. And I hear the crunch of the snow kind of underfoot. And I'm going to this gym, I hear volleyball, I hear whistles, I'm like, I'm in the right place. I walk in, and there's Vera's dad. And if you saw Vera's dad, it was actually like totally Vera's dad. The senior night, and Vera's name is being announced, and they're walking out, and Janos is waving to the crowd. He's got his hat on, right? And he's happy. That's how he greeted me. That's how he greeted me, and I knew I was in the right place. Anyway, okay, so I watched Vera. I realized, I'm like, okay, we needed 6 players at the time. We needed a lot of players in that 2019 class, and that was the class, and this fits to all 3 of the players that I need to talk about. That we lost on a kid that went to Colorado. We lost on a kid that went to Purdue. We lost on another kid that went to Colorado. And so Jen, I go in the office, I go, now what do we do? She goes, go east. And I go, what do you mean go east? And she's like, go across the Atlantic. And I'm like, okay. So there I go, I head across. Vera was the first one that committed in 2019. Vera has been positive for the most part. Sometimes, you'll like this in the end. And you will admit, okay? At first there was, I don't know how to describe it, but then towards the end of her career, like she was the ultimate, like I speak about Peyton, I could say the exact same thing about Vera. You want to get to an example? Here's an example. We lose Shea to an ACL injury. Second set against Duke. First match of the year, okay? And we'd wanted her out of high school. And then she goes to Minnesota. We were spurned, okay? And then she comes back and she commits to us. We're like, okay, this is great. And then we lose her, okay? She gets hurt. And then not too much later, we're playing Pepperdine at Minnesota, and we lose Jasmine. And then we're like, now what do we do? Okay, there's Magda's available, but we don't have any other middles. Jen looks down the bench and goes, Vera, okay? And there we go. Vera hops in, and we end up losing that match. We almost should have beat Pepperdine. We lost. We got housed kind of by Minnesota. Actually, we took a set off them. Then I think Vertigo happened with Laura Janssen versus UW, and then we're going into USC going, how are we going to win against Skylar Fields and all this stuff? We ended up winning. We won in 5 against one of the best players in the NCAA. And how did we do that? Vera ended up playing middle. Never played middle before, didn't really have a middle skill set, and played the entire year. Magda, she not only recruited the whole team, according to Magda, she also coached them all. I like this right now. Yeah, she does it all. But she really was integral in helping Magda, helping Vera. So Vera ends up being very capable. She only got a couple sets per match. Just did the best she could. She was a very good blocker for us, so we could depend on her. At any rate, okay, she was a main reason, in my opinion, besides the inherent what every other kid could do, main reason we got to the NCAA tournament in 2022. So fast forward, here we go. Now we go to 23. Didn't play very much. I don't know. I'm sure she thought things. And it makes me sad. But she didn't play. And she was positive. And she was a team player. She was always team first, from what I saw. And we can't thank her enough for that. I can't say much more than I'm proud of you. I'm glad you committed to us. All the way from Poland, Veronica.
Yeah, going back back to my recruiting, when he texted me, I had no idea who is he and if he is even a real person. And we looked him up, my mom and me, on the laptop, and we said that he was like someone from prison. So I thought he is fake, but he actually came to Poland, and when I was playing the game, and I knew that, he told me that he's gonna come, I was a little bit nervous, but I thought it's super fake and no one is gonna show up. But then I'm seeing my dad with some, tall guy, and I just said, he looks American, so I was like, yeah, that's probably him. When I came to WSU in 2019, I had no idea that this place is gonna take a very special place in my heart. After 5 years of being here, I can say that it was one of my best decisions to come across the world and be part of this team. This team became my family, my second family. And as my Cougar volleyball career is coming to end, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been part of this incredible journey for me. Thank you, Jen. Where are you? Oh, okay. Thank you, Jen, for giving me the opportunity to be the part of this team and learn. You taught me a lot how to be a better volleyball player, but also a person. And you were always there when I needed you, so thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Where are you? Oh, okay. Thank you, Shannon, for the everyday support and believing in me. And thank you that you made me laugh so many times in the practices. And whenever I had worse days, that helped me a lot, so thank you. And then thank you for that, for coming across the world, so many trips to Poland to get to know me. And then for the recruiting part, I bet it was hard, but that was the easiest one, so. Yeah, so thank you. And then thank you for making me laugh and smile every day. I could always count on you and talk about life with you, always. And then thank you, Corey, Missy, Trace, Grant, and Diane, for taking care of me and getting me through everyday struggles. Thank you for your everyday effort, encouragement, and hard work that you were putting to help me. And then thank you, Jeff and Erica, that we got to know you guys better. Thank you for all the support. You guys were an important part of our team. And then I want to thank you, the season ticket holders and everyone else, for coming to our games and making the Polar Gym an incredible place, one of the probably loudest gym in the nation. No matter what you guys always stood by us. And then what most important, I want to thank my team to be the second family for me. You guys always were here for me. Each of you have a special place in my heart. And I know we will stay forever, friends forever for life. And then I'm very grateful that I could be part of the team and create so many memories with you. Like hanging out with and in our locker room, or even the travel trips, like everything. So I'm just very thankful for that. And yeah, go Cougs forever.
Okay, if you're wondering, I think you've realized this thing's about relationships. So there were times, there was one day I went over to Poland and I just spent time with Vera's family. We rode bikes to the national park. We came back and we had beer. Then they were building a house, and we had her and her dad, her dad and myself We were tanning in the sun, but we also were like watering the foundation so it didn't crack with water. Then we walked the dog. We had dinner from her mother, who was a great cook. Then we sat in the darkness drinking more beer. Sorry, Ann. I'm sorry I'm saying this. But I think it's a relationship thing. I think that's what, it doesn't matter where people are at or what they look like. So, okay, next player, Pia. Pia's quite the dichotomy, as I learned. I remember her talking about after we had a lunch where it was really quiet. Her father spoke better English. Her mother did not speak English. Their mother they were quiet, so I didn't know what the heck was going on. And this was after I don't know how many messages to Pia where she didn't respond. And for some reason, I kept trying. I don't know why I kept trying, but I kept trying. And then she gives me some either 58.7 or 63.3% chance that she'll come to WSU, yet I kept trying. Right? Okay. So we're there. We go actually, after she committed, I went back one other time. We went on a bike ride. We went along the river in Emmekeim. It's on the Dutch border, Netherlands. Beautiful country. Drove through, tulips, to get to Pia's home. It was really pretty. We're out there, and she says something about like, my coaches don't like me being fiery. For the most part, that's what she said. And I said, for us, it'll be okay. And I know our head coach, and you can be yourself that way. So it's kind of going what Carly said. And I'm a big believer that you need to be yourself. And so, but Pia to me is like, she's gentle, yet she's fiery at the same time. She's quite the dichotomy on that. I could say one of the most skilled. I think she is the most skilled player that we've ever coached for volleyball. You tell Pia to do something. I don't know, your mother coached you, yes? She trained you? For a little bit. For a year or two. Well, who else did? Because whatever, your aunt. And so it's in the family. Her family trained her to be an exceptionally skilled volleyball player. One of the cleanest, mechanically sound players that we've ever coached. She was the model that we would tell other players to watch in so many things. I can't say enough about what Pia has meant to us. She affected the game from the service line. She affected it obviously offensively. You need an outside hitter to be good, and Pia was all that. I was just looking back, kind of like, okay, what was going on in her career? And I remember, what year was it? 2021. Anybody there for Washington? 2021. I don't know if I'm striking a chord. Should I go further? It was a 5-set match. Should I go further? It was 46-44 in the fourth, and we lost the fourth. We lost the fourth set. And so I went back and went, like, what are some moments throughout a kid's career, because she's been here since 2019, that are really, really good, like a highlight. I didn't realize what a highlight that was. And I looked at it, and her stats at the end of the 5-set win versus Washington was 31 kills, 8 errors on 76 attacks, hitting .303 as an outside hitter. Yeah, you can give an applause to that. I think it actually earned her like a national, did you get National Player of the Week or something? There was something crazy like that. Yeah, National Player of the Week for that. Pia's been integral to us. Sometimes I'm looking at her and I'm like, sometimes I can't figure her out. But it's okay. I know enough about her that in the end, she cares about us. She gave her heart to us. That it was worth it. And all the times she didn't respond, and I would do it again. Pia.
Alrighty. Thanks, Bird. Well, yeah, after that whole recruiting process that kind of took forever, well, little did I know that the next 5 years, I will be making we'll be making some of the best memories on and off the court with some of the coolest people, including my teammates that are now my sisters, well, my brothers, actually. Well, even on the tough days, I could always count on you guys to cheer me up and motivate me. And even though I loved all of our pregame a cappella sessions, I think we should all stick to volleyball. I will forever be grateful for every single one of you, and I'm sure that we will all meet again somehow, somewhere. But my teammates weren't the only people that made these last 5 years so memorable. Jen, Bird, and Shannon, thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity to play for this program. You guys have taught me so many things, from volleyball to golf swings or how to style boots. I can't forget about the rest of the team. Corey, thank you for always bringing the energy and fueling my neurons every day. Attitude and effort will forever be on my mind. Grant, thank you for always showing up in a good mood and being the G-man that we all know. Missy, Trace, Bob, and Dr. Tinkstad, I'm an old lady, but you guys have made it possible for me to play the sport that I love, and I would have never been able to be on the court without all of you, so thank you. Jeff and Erica, I'm so grateful to get to know you guys and all the things you have done for us, not to mention the beautiful court that I was blessed to play on in my final season. I think it really made it different on my grandma knees. Season ticket holders and everybody that's here right now, thank you for supporting me and my teammates throughout their careers. You made Pullman and Bowler a special place for us. I think everyone in this room has made an impact on my life in one way or another, which I will be forever grateful for. Thank you guys, and go Cougs forever.
Okay, we're almost there. Really, we're almost there. We have one more player, and it's Magda. And actually, here we go again. Magda, thank you for getting Pia. To be honest, because I think Magda was the one that committed second. And I don't know, as far as the Euros, and I don't know, the 2019 class was pretty good, like really good, actually, if you look at it. There's two players that transferred out that ended up at Kansas, and were they a top 16 seed? I don't know, were they? Either they were 4 or 5, but yeah, they were good. Anyway, that was a special class as far as talent. But Magda committed actually before Pia, because Pia took forever. But she helped recruit Pia. So there you go. So Magda's, it's everything. This program wouldn't be anything without Magda. Okay. So here's the deal. We're looking at national team stuff, and we're going off a list, and we're looking at how tall kids are. This is really simplistic. How tall kids are and how high they touch. And we had that info, and then we went without video. I either contacted them, they responded, or they didn't, or we went and watched them, or we didn't. And so Jen and Shannon, I think I'm off in like either Bulgaria, Serbia, and Romania or something like that. You're going to Romania, aren't you, Iman? You are. You're going to Romania to play, yes? Yep. What team? Alba Blaj. Did I say that right? Okay. Good. So I got the areas that the women were like, I'm not so sure I should go. So what do Jen and Shannon get? They get like Germany and Italy and who knows? Let's throw in Switzerland, but it wasn't. But whatever. Okay. So they go and watch Magda, and I asked Jen after that. I remember where I was. It was after recruiting was all done. I invited my dad to go to Norway. He's Norwegian. First time out of the country, and I picked him up in Oslo, and we went out to Bergen. I remember I'm in the hotel, and I remember telling Jen, like, what do you think about this kid? And she's like, yes. That's all she said. And when she says yes, there doesn't need to be anything else. I'm like, it's go time. So anyway, started going ahead with Magda, but she was kind of like Pia, but not as bad as far as responding. At least she responded, but it'd be, sorry, I'm up in the mountains or something. I don't know what I'm doing, okay? And so anyway, she ended up showing interest. We're like, okay, here we go. And so we get her to commit. When I go and watch her the first time in Prešerov, Czech Republic, which is in eastern Czech Republic, it's on the Slovakian border. I'd had a long trip, and I'm traveling all over the place, and I get to practice. We had dinner and some dessert or something, and then she takes me to the gym, and then I go up there, and I'm waiting. I'm sitting there, and then whatever they're doing, getting dressed or whatever, and then they come out for practice, and then they warm up. By that time, I'd fallen. Sorry, Ann. My boss is here. You are my boss. I know. I actually fall asleep on the pillar upstairs, and I'm leaning like legs out, and I just nod off like this. And I guess later Magda goes, hey, I look up, and the coach that had come here to watch me play is now asleep. It ends up working out in my favor, because then she's like, oh, I got to impress her, whatever. So then fast forward, she commits, okay? We got her. NLI comes, not NIL, NLI. She signs a letter of intent. We got her. Fast forward to beginning of March. Jen and I are in Houston. We're recruiting, Tour Texas. I wake up. I look at the message, which is long, but all I have to do is gloss my eyes, and I see the emojis, which Magda likes. Okay, and I look at it. I'm like, this is not good. I read the details. Now she's out. Here comes the pro contract that said we have rights to you one more year. If you leave, you get penalized 8,000 to 10,000 euros. It says my family doesn't have that. I can't pay for it. Now we lost her. Okay, I go back in the day I go back and talk to Lucia Vratničková, who is from Brno. She was Czech. Her brother was a lawyer in the Czech Republic. I have him look at the contract, unbeknownst to you at the time. Okay, we figure out that this is indeed legal. Okay, whatever. He's like, it's legal. There's no, it's binding. You're not going to get her. Like, okay. So I said to Jen, I go, here's the deal. We got a really good player. Okay, we got a really good player that she wants to come here, but she can't. I'm going to go to the Czech Republic. She says, go. So I go there, and then Magda's going to get up here very soon. I'm there for 3 days. Okay, I'm there for 3 days. And we'd already arranged that she wants to meet me in Prague, okay, the capital. Well, I don't get anything from Magda first day. I don't get anything from Magda like the second day. And now it's time to leave. Magda finally responds and says, oh, I was up in the mountains with my friend. And I'm coming through Prague. If you have time, I would love to meet you before I go home to Prešerov, okay? I'm like, yeah, that's why I came here. Okay? And so this is like spy stuff. I'm in Prague at the train station meeting Magda at like 1 o'clock. And we sit there for an hour. I remember it because I was just in Prague. I took a picture of the little restaurant, the coffee shop. I know exactly where we were sitting and how we were facing, what we ordered. And I'm like, what can we do? And she says, to cut to the short of it, there's nothing we can do. Like, I've tried everything, okay? I can't get out of the contract. So I'm like, okay, well, I gave my best, put my best foot forward, and then I went home. Within the next week, she says, oh, I talked to our clubs, the team she was on. I talked to the president, okay? This is who she should have talked to at first. And says, oh, my son went to the United States, and he had a great experience. You can go. So, so my whole point is, I've been chasing this kid for I don't know how long. It was even the return of the five, okay, with you guys. Who was the last one? Take a guess, audience. Who was the last one? Magda, okay? She was the last one. I feel like I had to go to Zadar, Croatia. That's rough. But to make sure that she came here, okay? Homa Juric right there, right? Yeah, it's beautiful. If you ever have a chance to go to Croatia. That she came back. She's been worth it the whole time. This more for her teammates, obviously her skill. We talked about the records, but she's happy, she's positive. I feel like a kid like that, a woman like that, could actually be not humble, could have an ego. And I think whoever was chosen above you, number one in the draft, would be exactly what I'm talking about, is the opposite of Magda. She's humble, and I think her teammates really appreciate it. So she's maybe, besides with Sarah, she's greatest of all time. At WSU, I know the kids say GOAT now, but she probably is. I don't know if it's replaceable, to be honest with you. We're going to try our best, but as a person, a player, one of the best we've ever had. Magda.
All right, so you guys probably heard a lot about my recruiting process already, but yeah, like Bernadette said, like 5 years ago, I could have never imagined I will be standing here right now giving this speech. I actually never even thought of coming to the United States to play in college, since I already said it before, most of you have probably heard it before, but my family has always been very academically oriented rather than athletically. So I just did volleyball as something, you know, just for fun, just to kill my free time. But I just ended up really like sticking with it because I got really lucky with people in my life. And yeah, and here I am 5 years later giving this speech after having one of the best experiences of my lifetime. Like, coming to Pullman was just, I'm beyond thankful I got to do it. Like, thank you, Bernadette, for going through all this. And yeah, there's just a lot of thank yous that like accumulated over the years that I want to give today, and I'll try to keep it short because I know it's late Monday night, and I don't want to keep you guys here forever. But there's just a few that I really want to mention. So Jen, first of all, thank you so much for always pushing me out of my comfort zone. You know, I always like to hit certain middle sets, but not the other ones, as my teammates definitely know. And you know, like Jen would always push me to become better volleyball player, and especially become a better person, which is something that I'm going to be forever thankful for, as you really prepared me for everything that's going to come in life, and I can thank you enough for all that. Then Shannon, there you are. Like Shannon was already talking about her film session, that sometimes you don't really watch film, but you talk about life only. So that's something me and Shannon do a lot every week, every Tuesday at 10, you know. And it's just, you know, it's just been such a fun time that we get to spend together. And also Shannon always sits right next to me in the locker room before every single game. And it actually gets me mentally ready for the game because we just, you know, joke around. And we also play our silly little game during the warm-ups, which, I know, it just always makes me, yeah, you win. It just always makes me not be nervous before a game, and it's so helpful. Then Bernadette, like I already said, thank you so much for going through the whole recruiting process. Like, I'm gonna be forever thankful, like till the end of my life, for having you bring me here, and for all the memories that we just created together. And you really made Pullman feel like home from day one, ever since I got here. And, you know, like, you became such an important part of my life, and I can thank you enough for that. Then Grant, where are you? Oh, there you are. Sorry. Well, I just wanted to say that you're really the funniest director of ops that I think everyone ever saw. And I'm just really gonna miss the post-game talks you give in the locker room, because Grant always only says 2 sentences, but they just tell everything, you know? Yeah. It's the best summary of a game every single time, and we all love those. Then Trace, thank you so much for always pushing me in the weight room, but more importantly, like Carla already said, you are just more than a strength coach, you really are my mental coach. And I think for most of the people on the team, they feel the same way about you. And just every single time I was going through something, I knew that I could come to your office and just talk about life, and you would either help me talk through it or offer me Chloe, which is Trace's dog, and she's my emotional support animal. So thank you for that. And then Corey and Missy, where are you guys? Oh, there you are. Well, thank you guys. You have just been such a wonderful addition to the program. I wish I got to spend all my 5 years with you guys on the team. Like, I just know there's so much hard work you put into every single day. Like, you just make us better people, better players. And I'm gonna be forever thankful for all you do. For Missy for keeping my body alive during the whole season, and Corey for just like getting us mentally prepared for a game, and just for everything you do, and for always being up for some extra reps. Then Jeff and Erica, thank you guys so much for being such a wonderful support for this team. You really went above and beyond with what you did for us this year and all the years prior. And I'm just so happy that I got to meet you guys along the journey, and your pre-game and post-game texts, they always made my day, and just I can thank you enough. And then Diane and Heather, like Burdett said, it kind of took a time for me to announce that I'm going to be coming back for the 5th year, and it wasn't because I wouldn't want to come back to WSU. It was because I was done with my undergrad degree, and I didn't know if there's a master's degree that I could do at WSU, and they just put in amazing work, like hours and hours of work. Yeah, they definitely deserve an applause for that. And I really thank you guys for making it possible for me to come back for the 5th year. And then everyone else, Bob, you know, we have a deal, you know it's coming. No, Bob's been amazing. He really saved my shoulder my freshman year and made me able to play for the rest of my season. And then just everyone else who's not here, people like Alexis, Gracie, or Mia and Al, you guys have just been so fun, and I'm so glad you are part of this program. And then to all of you guys, our season ticket holders and our fans, and just all of you, like, thank you for being so supportive throughout all the 5 years that I've been here. I'm really happy I got to know a lot of you personally, and you know, just the fact that the community here in Pullman is so close. When Iman was describing that she was always telling me that she doesn't understand why would I want to be in Pullman, like, you guys are exactly the why. So thank you for all that. And then, most importantly, my teammates. You guys have just been such a pleasure to play with. You guys, like, I don't think you guys, season ticket holders, even know what a crazy group of people this is. But just the fact that there's so many different personalities and so many different nationalities, and the fact that we get on so well, and we see each other every single day in practice or in weights, and then we hang out outside of practice, so we literally see each other 24/7. We don't have any other friends than our team. It's also part of the reason. But you guys have just been so awesome. When Carla was talking about her position group, I also gotta give a shout out to my position group, Lucy, Lana, Jess, and Shay. Like, you guys have been my #1 hype people, you know? Like, instead of there being some, like, unhealthy competition, you guys have been always hyping me up so much. And I'm so happy that we all play the same position. And I can wait to just watch you guys in future and cheer on you. And yeah, just thank you guys for being amazing teammates and such a great team. And even though I liked all my 5 years at WSU, this one was definitely special. And so yeah, go Cougs forever.
Okay, there's going to be a video, and on the inside, we scheduled this year. This is stuff that maybe you haven't heard. We scheduled this year to try to host, to play at home at the end of the year. The ultimate goal would be to be a top 4 seed overall, and so that you would host the 2 weekends, not just the first one. And so we scheduled that way. So we got housed at Louisville. Okay, we got absolutely smoked. Okay, they're a good team. They're really good. Okay, we kind of regrouped. We got to BYU. BYU smoked us at BYU last year. Okay, we returned the favor on them this year, and it was the first time I thought that we got full effect. Where did Jeff go? Why is Jeff not here right now? Are you kidding me? Jeff needs to be here. Okay.
Erica, it's
Okay, Erica, you get it, but it was the first time the full effect of really the largest permanent Terraflex floor in the nation was there, along with the seating and the block specifically. We kind of had this idea that we needed end-line seating. Okay, well, let's get it there, and then the students involved, and then it became even better. Boulder became even better than before. And I feel like it was the first time in effect. We go to Baylor. We beat Baylor. Baylor had been a nemesis for us. We lost 0-3 against Ryan McGuire and the Baylor-led team. Okay, we got them there in kind of a dead gym. It's the opposite of Boulder. Then we go to Texas, defending national champion. We're down 1-0, okay, in sets. We're down 13-4 in the second set. 13-4. Guess who wins the second set? We won the second set, okay? And then we end up getting them 25-22, 25-22, 25-22. That's not a good memory that needs to remember that. It's easy, okay? But we won in 4. And hearing from Sarah Silvernail, who was married to Jared Elliott, who's a current coach of Texas, and played, and obviously Sarah was here, was Pac-10 All Pac-10 Player of the Year in 1996, okay? That she said that was the greatest victory in WSU volleyball. I hope there's another one that's better. But to win at Texas was unbelievable. Okay, then come home. You sweep UW. Okay, we're at Arizona. We're actually down 1-0. We're down 2-1, and we come back. Okay, Arizona I think finished last in the Pac-12. Took us to 5. That speaks to a lot of what the Pac-12 was like this year. Okay, then we start cruising along through the schedule. We play Oregon. We beat them in 4 at Oregon. All of our team likes to beat Oregon, every single one of them. Okay, Pia gets to the service line in the 4th set. We're down 23-19. What does Pia do? Oh, Pia becomes the all-time career aces leader. She serves 6 times, end up beating Oregon 25-23 in the 4th set. We get to Stanford here. Okay, Stanford, we lose. It's tough. Sammy Francis not there, the big 6'6" middle. We lose a bunch of close sets. Our team, and I'd love to have it, I wish we would have had it, is the goal sheet that we had in the retreat, okay, that we had out. We accomplished a lot of goals this year, a lot. And goals can be hard. Goals can kind of drive you crazy a little bit. And I feel like one of them was winning the Pac-12 championship. We didn't get Stanford there, okay, whatever. We move a little forward. We're up 2-0 at USC. We housed them, like 16-14 kind of thing. Okay, and then what does USC come back and do? They beat us in 5. Now things get interesting. 5 in the next 7 matches we lose. We had risen as high as number 4 in the nation, and this is where, and I want to say this in front of the group, and it's not because I want to hear myself talk. Okay, I want the group to know in front of others how proud we are that they stayed together, that they kept believing. That they tried to figure it out. And there was a practice that we pushed, and we pushed hard, like super hard. And some of it the coaches aren't really happy about when they actually think back on it. What's the most important thing is relationships for the rest of life. And there's some things that you push a kid and you just try to shake them. And that's what we did. And I'm not saying it worked because it didn't, because we went to USC and we were down 0-2 right after that practice. But then what did we do? Reverse sweep. Okay, we came back and repaid the favor on USC, and then we kept moving along forth after that. We beat UW. Just moving forward, we beat UW at UW in one of the sweetest fight songs that I think we've ever sung.
It was. Yes, it was.
And that's something that's going to be with me, and I think us for the rest of our life. We get the right to host. I will go back before UW, and then I'm almost there. Arizona State, the kids didn't know that if we don't win that, I don't know if we host. I don't think we host, actually. They ended up winning that, I think, in a deuce set in the 5th set against a really good Arizona State team that took Stanford down to the end. And so here we get Grand Canyon. Good job. Dayton, good job. And we met a Pitt team that was just one of the better teams that we've ever saw. They were a machine. Our players have nothing to hang their heads about. They should be proud. We're proud of them. Go Cougs.
I know I can't afford to stop for a moment. That it's too soon for me.
Our sights are set pretty high this year, so we're really excited to get going with so many returners coming back. And we cannot wait to pack this place and make it the hardest place to play in the country.
Fuller Gym jam-packed with Cougar fans. The energy is bursting here tonight.
Another block by Washington State. Timmer one more time with the kill. There's a block back from Washington State. Arentina Ung, Ladaradakevich. Now the celebration in full force. Cougar fans and Cougar players enjoying a win over the 8th-ranked team in the country.
What a night by the Cougs, with Isanovich leading with 16 kills and Timmer close behind with 13.
So first back-to-back top 25 wins for Washington State since 2021.
Washington State wins it. They celebrate on the Gregory Gymnasium floor. One of the biggest wins in program history in this season. Their 3rd straight win over a ranked opponent in all in the Big 12.
Cougars ranked number 7. Their rival, the Huskies in town, off to a great start tonight. There's a great serve. Iman Isanovich. That's flushed back, that Cougar defense. And that's down, point to Washington State. And there it is. And the Cougars take it 3-0. A sweep in game 1 of this Apple Cup series between Washington State and the Washington Husky.
Crowd making noise. Timmer rips it over. McClone receives it. No! It's an ace! Washington State on the road wins it. 6-0 run for the Cougars. Pia Timmer at the service line was excellent. And the Cougars finished with their 9th ace to upset the Ducks on the road and continue the win streak.
The Cougars come back from down 2-0 to take it from the Trojans this afternoon in Pullman.
Washington State wins in 5. Today it was Washington State's day.
The opponent for Grand Canyon, that would be Washington State, Holly.
It's great. We're super excited we get to host the first 2 rounds, and especially since, we know that Baller gets really packed, gets really loud, and I think it's going to be a huge home court advantage for us.
The Cougars out to a roaring start, hosting at home in the first round. Radakovich lands it for the Cougs. And the southpaw Katie Ryan terminates the point for the Cougs. Via Timmer. Another big swing in her Washington State career. But Julia Norville aces them up. Back on a slide for Yahalasheva. And Washington State at home wins in the first round of the 2023 NCAA Women's Volleyball Tournament. Another excellent night for college volleyball tonight. We play for the Sweet 16, the 5th seeded Dayton Flyers and the host 4 seed Washington State Cougars. Everything Magda touches is turning into a point for the Cougars. The left-hander delivers a big one. Timmer comes flying in and rockets it down for WSU. The Cougars closing in on a potential trip to the Sweet 16. Almodovar, wide side, too long, and Washington State, for the 5th time in program history, is headed to the Sweet 16.
This group, especially this year, is like none that I personally ever played with. I think just the way that this team just is able to give to each other constantly, no matter the score, no matter what type of situation we're in, no matter the adversity that we face, no matter what, our team still gives to each other. I think that's super rare to find, especially in college athletics and college teams, to find a team where each and every one of our players genuinely has such love and support for each and every single player. And I think just that's one of the biggest things I'm going to take away from this team is just how much we love each other, how much that we've always supported each other, and that's just going to carry on throughout our next chapters in our life.
I really want to spend one more season with all the girls on the team.
The culture that this team has created and the girls that I'm surrounded by every single day is incomparable, and I truly don't think that I could find that at any other program.
Really feels like I've been here for such a long time, and the team is great. They really integrated me like in a second.
Being able to be a part of this team and all the girls on this team are like my best friends now.
I actually made a lot of like good relationships being here with my Euros friends. And
I will say that I feel like I have a lot of really close people here now in Pullman, and it kind of feels like a family.
I've never been with such a tight-knit group before. I love going to workouts with them, practice with them every day, grinding and competing together.
Just getting to play for WSU is just such an honor. And like when I first came here, everybody was just super welcoming, super nice. I just felt super good right away.
The community that WSU has brought me and the people who are here or who have been here are always going to have that love and support for me, and I'm going to have the same love and support for them. The environment and the atmosphere that WSU and just being a Coug means can take me so far in life and make me gain so many different relationships outside of this place.
Go Cougs!
I want everyone to stand up. Everyone. First of all, because now you're just been sitting for a long time, but everyone in this room and those abroad, you are what makes Washington State Volleyball. My mascara is long gone, but we love you. Go Cougs forever. Go Cougs. Season ticket holders, staff, you guys are absolutely amazing. You guys are what makes this tick every single day. Student athletes, obviously as well, but we could not do this without you. So thank you so much. Go Cougs. Thank you for being here. This class is amazing. What an incredible year. So thank you.